Alright guys, let's see how our audio sounds. A little bit windy out here today, that's unexpected. Maybe it should be a little more expected given the frigid temperatures. Check, 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 check. Frigid temperatures. Check, 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 check. Check, 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 check. Hey, Tom O'Neill is here. Hello, Tom. Thanks for joining the stream. Tom, I saw recently in my analytics that you are among the very top of our most engaged viewers in terms of comments. So, keep it up, my friend. I'm glad you're here. Sycamore is here. Hello, Sycamore. Whew. All right, I've already done a couple workouts today, so Golf Master is here. I do remember that name, Golf Master 54. So we'll just do a quick warm up to get the golf muscles ready. Do some rotation stuff. Tom said, "Thanks, Tommy, you're the best." I know, we got to figure out a way to get this Tommy Fleetwood collaboration, you know, sync up to happen. Because it's like every video, guys, there's a comment about, "This looks like Tommy Fleetwood. You're a 7 out of 10 Tommy lookalike." Oh, we have a superstar in the stream. Hello, superstar. Are you being crazy? Yeah, oh, you seem like you're being crazy. You need a hand? If you leave that there, I can bring it in from the basement. How's your new coat? Superstar time! Oh, they're gonna be crazy! They're gonna be crazy! What is the actual temperature right now, guys? It's gotta be cold. Oh, guys, the high overnight is 11. The high tomorrow for the whole day is 29. At least right now it's like 35 and feels like 30. Thanks, Sycamore. Appreciate you saying that. He said, "Beautiful dog." Yeah, we have 2 beautiful dogs in this house, in fact. You see the other one? Come here, boy. Come here, boy. Stop eating grass. Come here. Oh, sir. What are you eating the dirt for? That's not very smart. They're up there having fun with each other. They don't need me. Do you have your Christmas tree up? Good question, Tom. It's been on the list all week. I think today is going to be the day. Gotta be able to rotate in the golf swing, guys. The most important thing to warm up, loosen up. It's so sad to see the replay and be like, it feels like I'm trying so hard to jump high in the air and my feet are barely coming off the ground. Just don't have the hops. Although, admittedly, guys, I never did, so it's not like I've lost anything. You can't lose something you never had. Looks like you need a heater. I definitely need a heater out here, Sycamore. That would be amazing. The problem is, I need like a long extension cord. I don't have power out here. I suppose I could get like a generator one. But if anyone has ideas about how to heat an outdoor area like this, I would be all ears. Miss Lady, what are you eating? Okay, let's go on inside. No, I don't know what this is. Are you being silly girl? Are you being a silly girl, silly girl, silly world? Who's that? Get your brother. Go get him. Who's that? Who's that? Go get him. Go get him. Oh, one blade. Oh, one blade. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. That's a good girl. Whoop. All right, let's go to pitching wedge. We'll keep warming up, I should say, not start, but keep warming up. Because my body is cold. You're in the danger zone. That's the danger zone. You can't be there. Excuse me. Where's your brother? What's he doing? Go find your brother. What's he doing? Come on. Go on. Go find him. Go find him. Go get him. Go get him. Go on inside. Come on. Come on. Go on. Good girl. Go on. You know, I thought I would start feeling warmer as I got out here, but I simply have not. I'm going to try to hit a bunch of balls in a row and see if we can start warming up. Just some little baby swings. Sheesh. Pinto Beans is here. What's up, Pinto Beans? Looks cold. It is really cold. The real feel is like around 30. The actual temperature is like 37, I think I saw. Oh. Arctic blast can't stop us though, right guys? Who cares if there's an Arctic blast? We can still get better. Still work on our game. Dun, 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 dun. What's under your mat? It looks extra cushioned. Yeah, so there's some gym tiles, like the ones you'd put on your floor, and some like industrial mats. So I did build up several inches of cushion underneath. Knowing how many balls I was going to be hitting out here, Pinto Beans, I had heard horror stories of guys, you know, hitting a bunch of balls off of a really unforgiving surface and developing issues or, you know, joint pain. So I wanted to avoid that when I built this. And it seems to work great. I've not had any issues. I obviously hit tons and tons of balls. Hi from Madagascar. That's a long way from here. Welcome. How are things in Madagascar right now? Also, are you sure you're not an exotic animal of some kind? Because that's the only thing I know about Madagascar. Sycamore says it sure stops me. Well, I don't blame you. You know, it's not the ideal sort of conditions. If someone said, hey, like, what's your perfect golf day? I don't think 30 and windy is coming out of anyone's mouth. Sound was kind of bad on that one. I'm buying a new putter. What putter would you recommend? Good question, Pro DN. I have really had a good experience with my Lab DF3 putter, but I'm not super up to date on the current technology other than that. I would tell you, putting is so personal that you got to try a bunch of different ones, see what works best for you. I shoot in the 70s. Any colder than that, I don't play. There you go. Hey, Quebec is here. You're welcome, Pro. I think, you know, the funnel starts at blade versus mallet. You kind of start there, see what your eye likes, and then you can dive in further from there. But just try a bunch of putters. There'll be some that you put it down behind the ball and you're like, oh, absolutely not. I'm not using that thing. And there's other ones where you're like, oh, that actually looks kind of like how I want it to. Swing through pain. Still see that ball. Play with a blade. I'm getting a setup slightly like a year soon. I'm pumped. That's amazing, dude. That's super exciting. I have really enjoyed having this at-home setup here. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that you can save 10% with my code on your very own net return if you're looking to get a at-home setup like this and start getting better, you know, being able to hit balls whenever you want. That's been such a game changer for me. Not having to go and pay money and drive and get to the driving range. I hit way more golf balls. I practice way more having this at home. It's great for warming up, too. Like, if you're playing at a golf course that doesn't have a driving range, I'll just, you know, set aside an extra 20 minutes, come out here and work through the whole bag. So I've at least hit some balls before I go play. CM said, looks easy. Yeah, some days it feels easy, some days not so much. Tom says, got a Scotty Cameron yesterday, and it's so cool. Scotty Camerons are very cool. Which one did you get, Tom? Did you get a mallet or a blade? I've got an old Newport Beach Scotty Cameron that I'm super fond of. Doing a little bit of tempo work, still trying to just warm up some. Hey, Anderson's here. How am I? I'm cold, is the honest answer. Do you have a tracer or nah? Like on videos and shorts, we have lots of tracers. Hey, Jamin's here. Appreciate you stopping in, bro. It took me a second to be like, who's... I'm used to kind of what all the moderator names look like because it pops up in blue on my screen. And I was like, oh yeah, Jamin is a moderator now. That was long overdue. He's here for like almost every stream. Adding some positivity and value to the chat. My MLM 2 Pro is amazing. I would love to get one of those, guys. I had the MLM, and I was just having a tough time getting it to read the shots accurately here in the net. It was pretty good for wedges. You guys saw us do a lot of wedge practice with the launch monitor out in here. But maybe if I got an MLM 2 Pro, that would... Oh, to track your shots in here. Sometimes we do. Like I was just saying, we set up the launch monitor back there and work on wedges and stuff. But I think today I'm just going to work on ball striking with some long irons. I love the original Newport that I have currently in my bag. An original Newport. That's so sick, dude. Like, can you see where your shot went on this setup? No. Nope. And that's kind of one of the beautiful things about it, guys. There certainly are situations where you need to see the trajectory and where the ball is flying and landing, but not all the time. And I actually find that it can inhibit You know, when you're working on your swing and you're working on these mechanical things like trying to get in certain positions or, you know, move your swing path, those sorts of things, not being able to see where the ball kind of helps because it allows you just to focus on whatever the specific movement is you're doing without the conscious or unconscious, you know, feedback of what the ball did. You know, you could be fixing your swing perfectly, but if you start like topping it and shanking it on the range, you're gonna be like, well, that's not fun. I'm gonna go back to what I was doing before. Whereas in here, you don't have to worry about that quite so much. You can just work on the swing and the strike. It's really good for working on impact. Kind words. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, bro. The new one is really, really good. I'll have to check it out. I have a RAPSODO MLM they sent me. It works phenomenally well at the driving range, but it's 50-50 in a setup like this. Has been my experience, so I've not used it as frequently as I maybe hoped. Hey, Barnaby's here. You're cooking. Thanks, bro. Is that club new? This is an old SM8 pitching wedge, 46-degree Vokey wedge. It is definitely not new. It's got all kinds of dings and scrapes, scratches in it. See you, bro. Stay blessed. Thanks, Quebec. Hit that subscribe button if you want to support the channel. If you guys are enjoying hanging out like Quebec. Really does help us out. I mean, at least drop a like for hitting balls outside on a sub-freezing day. Gotta love a wedge with some character to it. Yeah, so it's probably between this one and my 60 that is the most beat up. Look at this 60 degree, guys. It has seen some battles. It honestly doesn't look as bad as I thought it might. You should go pro, says Barnaby. I don't know about that, guys. I'd have to get a lot better at golf. I'm not opposed to the idea. If someone wants to sponsor my journey and pay for Q School and, you know, some sort of membership to play every day, then yeah, like I would say absolutely I'd give it a go. But it's not in my immediate plans, to be honest. And I think as much as I love golf, I'm pretty realistic about my abilities, at least currently, being, you know, miles and miles away from being able to play golf for a living. But I do think that there's an opportunity to turn content and YouTube into a career within the context of helping people with sobriety and mental health and the things that I talk about that are important to me that are carried by the vehicle that is golf. Golf is the wrapper, but the stuff inside is much more than that and much more impactful. And when I think honestly about the work I want to do and the impact I want to have, nothing excites me more than the potential opportunity to keep building out this platform into a self-sustaining business and be able to reach and help even more people by doing that. I don't have all the answers yet as to how to do that. The channel's obviously monetized and that's great, but it's not going to pay my bills at this point. But at the same time, we live in the real world and, you know, like I have a mortgage, so gonna have to figure something out. But I would love for it to be golf and content and helping people, giving back, being of service. My wedges are rusted. Bokies are just too damn clean and fall into any bag of irons seamlessly. I agree with you, Jamin. Merry Christmas, guys. Thanks, Barnaby. That's very kind of you. If you could be sponsored for clothes and clubs, what would you pick? I think I would pick TaylorMade. I made that video, guys, about my TaylorMade irons being worn out, that a lot of you guys have been very kind in supporting. If you haven't seen that short yet, I posted a video basically being like, how many likes do you think we need on a video to get TaylorMade to send us some new irons? I don't know what it is about that particular manufacturer, but I've always been so partial to, especially the drivers and woods. But the irons are really good too. And as far as clothes, I think Malbon is a really cool brand, guys. I don't know what you think. I like that it's different. they're trying to be a, their own unique standalone kind of thing. D-Mac, what's your job right now? I'm like a part-time consultant is how I would describe my current job. I used to work in finance and private equity and made a bunch of money, but ultimately became very disillusioned with that industry and trying to make money off of renting apartments to low-income people. And why are we raising the rent 20% when you could just raise it 4% and still make a bunch of money? But that's my old life. I left that all behind. I just walked out, packed up my office, said, see you later, guys. Not doing it anymore. And so I've been trying to figure it out ever since. Thanks for being here, Anderson. I'm 5 beers deep right now, working on Mike's Hard Black Lemonade. Hey, Sycamore, whatever works for you, bro. I'm not going to join you. Most of you guys are familiar with me talking about my sobriety journey and coming up on 5 years without alcohol, which is truly the thing that I think has saved my life. In the sense of, I just am so convinced that I wouldn't be here today if I had kept drinking 5 years ago. And that's a pretty hard thing to say, guys. It's scary to think, like, man, if I hadn't pulled myself out of that deep, dark hole, then I don't know where I would be. It certainly wouldn't be here, in my first house with my beautiful wife and 2 dogs. The career stuff will sort itself out. And I know that there's an audience of people who support me, and that if we keep going with, making content, that it will sort itself out. It's just short-term cash flow that needs to be figured out. But I have so much confidence that if I continue to build this platform and keep making content and putting out value, offering something to people that is helpful to them in their daily lives, that of course I can support myself doing that. It just takes time, guys. You don't just start on day one and, be at that place. I love my sim too. Yes and yes, D-Mac. Yes and yes is the answer. I'm now a member of a golf club. That's very exciting. Beast Sniper, do you like the new season? Oh, I think they were talking about Fortnite. So what are we working on in the golf swing, guys? I've been working on my tempo a whole bunch, trying to feel like that club just pauses at the top some. I saw my dad got me a golf sim for Christmas. So when I get it, I'm going to start posting content. Amazing, D-Mac. That's so exciting, dude. I'm going to make a video soon. It's in my list of videos to make about behind the scenes, how I make content. I've made, over 1,000 videos at this point. Some of those are live streams, of course, but I made a lot of videos, and it's all been done just with my phone. So if you have a phone and a tripod and a little microphone like this, you can get started making content. You totally can. You don't need fancy cameras. You don't need a producing team. I've generated, almost 10 million views, guys, on YouTube and Instagram, with every video basically coming from my phone. Filmed on my phone, edited on my phone. Buffering. Offline? Don't tell me that. Tell me how that makes sense. Are we still live over here? Oh, that looks still live. It's still ticking. Have you ever played golf in a different country? Attaboy D-Mac. Way to go, Jamin. I've played golf in Germany and Canada. Nobody wants to watch a 60-year-old guy hitting 280-yard drives. Why not, Sycamore? What phone do you have? I have an iPhone, like 14, I think, or 13 or 14, something like that. I'm getting a full sim set up for Christmas, and I can set up with my MLM2 Pro. That's amazing, Anderson. Everything okay, John? Yeah, everything's fine. We're just working on getting... Oh, here we go. It's just lag. It's just things, you know, technology being difficult. Anderson, that's super exciting, dude, to have a full sim. There was a house we almost bought that had this big... I'm going to call it a garage, but it was more like a barn. It was like, it had 20-foot high ceilings, and it was like a 60 by 30, like this massive barn space. I was going to put a simulator in, you know, like a third of it, and would have had a bunch more room for other things. But you can't buy a house that doesn't have a foundation. It's very important, guys. You need a foundation for the house. That is, in fact, why they call it the foundation. Swing through pain. I'm sure your laptop is just freezing. Yeah. Is the computer freezing or is it freezing? Those are different things, because computers freeze, but they also freeze. Hey, Elias is here. I really feel like we are making a big community. I totally agree with you, B-Sniper. Isn't it cool? Let's get John to 100,000 subs. That would be incredible, guys. That would be incredible. But all we can do is one day at a time. You know, we can put in a lot of effort day to day to day. But those kinds of goals will happen when the time is right. We got to get to 7,000 first, then 8,000, then 10,000, then 20, right? Do you remember when there was a guy who wanted you to put on your shoes and tie them? Oh yeah, Daryl. I think he tripped on his shoelaces and pretty seriously injured himself. So he was very concerned that I not have a similar experience, which was very kind. Much in the same way of how I talk about my experience with alcohol, because I don't want other people to go through that. I had somebody recently on the stream asking me, like, hey, it's interesting that you're talking about not drinking. Like, I'm about to be 21, and I'm researching which alcohols I might like. And I was like, tell me more about that. I don't really understand what your goal is. He's like, well, I know that if I don't drink, I'm never going to have fun. So I got to figure out what liquor I like before I... And I was like, hold on. Let's just back up a second. I can tell you, you know, having 15 years of additional life experience from what this person had, that you don't need alcohol to have fun. I have fun every single day. I love my life, and I don't drink alcohol ever. But I do think there is that perception out there that it is like a necessary part of growing up or becoming cool, and like nothing could be further from the truth, guys. If you want to optimize your time on this planet, then don't poison yourself. Take care of your body. Take care of your mental health. All these things that I have learned, you know, later in life, but better late than never. And part of this channel is trying to showcase that and help people understand, like, how do you actually do it? What does the process look like? You know, because I didn't used to know. Nobody told me, like, if you want to lose weight, well, yeah, you eat less and you exercise more. And I was like, cool, but like process-wise, what do I actually do? How do I build consistency and systems that serve me? Do you wear 100% cotton zip hoodies with a hood? I don't really like zip hoodies. Damn, Anderson, you got the bag. I'm going to buy some Tacoma 101s with my birthday money. Incredible. I would love to work with Tacoma. Do you guys think I have enough subs? We have like almost 7,000 subs. Do you think Tacoma would send us some irons? I see like everybody on Instagram with 5K has Tacoma irons. Remember the guy that was hating and then became a fan? Yeah, there's been several of those. I think Connor was the guy from yesterday who came in hot, and I was like, oh, hold on. And then you just engage and you show that you're a thoughtful person, and people are like, wow, this actually might be something different than what I thought it was. Because he's the best YouTuber in the world. I appreciate that. Let's make John the new Mr. Beast. I mean, guys, that would be a level that I'm not sure I'm ready for yet. But all these things are going to happen in due time. All right, let's grab our towel and do some towel drills. Grab an 8-iron. make it a little tougher. We'll do some paddle hand drills as well. Scotty Mallet and SM7s, very cool. Alcohol is the pain in the gunshot. Well said, bro. Thinking of getting a new 5-wood, but I don't know what to get. Gay for golf. Yeah, Connor was a blast. Damon remembers. Yeah. My mate in Ireland here, also golfer, has decent YouTube content and subscriptions. I'm sure he could do a collab with you. Well, that's very nice of you to offer, Adam. If you don't mind, would you have them reach out to me, or you can reach out to me and send me their contact info? It's always good to be connected with people. I actually sent an email to somebody right before we started who was a supporter of the channel and reach out to me and shared that they worked in the golf industry. So guys, the drill is supposed to help you not shank it like that. But sometimes you stop paying attention and it's going to happen. You just got to move that strike back out away from the heel. We are now doing the towel drill. Beast Sniper loves this one. Oh, got to keep that connection. Put your head down. I know, I do sometimes take my eye off the ball. If Paul was here, he'd be like, bro, I saw it from a mile away. Yep, that was so much better. You hear that strike? Boom. Building an awesome bag sounds like Anderson. Stoked for you, bro. Are you sure you're a 1 handicap? Yeah, guys, that's what people forget. You watch pros on TV, and they're like, oh, this guy's like a scratch golfer. He must be close to that. And it's like, no. There's so big a gap between the guys you watch on TV and even somebody who's like a +2 or a +3 handicap, honestly. I am painfully aware of how really, not very good at golf I am. Just hard. It's just a hard sport. Oh, getting a little better there. Even Tiger takes divots. There you go. I'm trying to get to a 5 handicap in 6 months. You can definitely do that, bro. You got to practice impact. You got to learn how to hit the center of the face, right? You got to learn how to control where that club face is pointed. You don't want it too closed or too open. Whew. Tell you what, guys, Arctic Blast is right. We should get you a new mat. I think we're doing okay, guys. We got some more life in this one still. I think it just goes to show that we've put in a lot of hard work on our game. We're wearing out the mat. We're having to find new spots to hit off of, which is okay. Can you share your grip? Absolutely, Big T. I got you. So I grip with an overlap. So my pinky just sits on top of my left hand like this. You can also interlock or just go 10 fingers. It's a little less common, but I overlap like this. And I try to keep the club running through my fingers. I don't want it like a stick in my hand, right? It's not a club. It's a precise instrument, and I want to hold it in my fingers as much as I can. I keep this angle, this V that's created between my index and thumb, pointed at this shoulder, and the same thing on this side. This V points at this shoulder. So I always tell people, make sure you grip it. Don't grip it in a neutral shaft position, especially with an iron. If you're going to hit it like this with the shaft forward, well, grip it that way too. One of the easiest ways to start hitting your irons better, guys, is just to set up with the hands further forward, like almost touching this left thigh. Because that's how we want to deliver the club into impact. Do you know any left-handed golfers? I do. I played in college with a left-handed golfer, a guy, C Money, who I'm still quite close with, who is a great player. Just stands on the wrong side of the ball. Hey, Derek is back. My boy's a 2, but I always say, are you sure you're a 2 when he misses a 2-foot putt? Yeah, I mean, even, like, go watch a compilation of tour pros, like, topping the ball. There's a video of Tiger I think in Saudi Arabia or Dubai from, like, 06 or 07, where he just stone cold tops one off the first tee. And that doesn't mean that he's not Tiger Woods. Of course he's still Tiger Woods. He's insane at golf. But These things happen, guys. We're trying to hit a very small ball with an even smaller club, you know, at least as far as the sweet spot is concerned, and do it at, you know, usually over 100 miles an hour. Do you do pro? I'm not sure I know what you mean by that. I give lessons online if you guys are interested in one-on-one coaching with me. That could be golf. It's, you know, the website is set up for golf, but if you're interested in, you know, life coaching or just somebody to check in with, we could definitely talk about that as well. Curious about the interlock. Did it for a long time. I'm switching to non-interlock. I did the same thing. I played golf with an interlock grip for 15 years. And then about 12 months ago, switched to this overlap grip. And that was largely in an attempt to continue improving my swing. And it makes it harder for me to throw the club head. My big problem was always casting the club from the top and really throwing it with a lot of right hand. So by taking that right hand more out of the equation, I do drills like this towel or paddle hand drill, right, where we're basically just pushing with our right hand on this grip and learning how to hit shots that way. That's an excellent drill as well. The reason I started playing golf, because my friend played golf a few years, let me try his club, I hit the ball, and even since then I had the golf itch. I know, it's because it's like in reach, right? You can watch a tour pro on TV hit a wedge from 100 yards to 2 feet and make a birdie. And you can also, very rarely, hit a wedge from 100 yards to like 2 or 3 feet. No amount of practice or, you know, there's very little that I could do to learn how to dunk, right? You know, but I can hit golf shots once in a while that are similar to what professional golfers can hit. And that itch is very real. I mean, golf is one of the most addicting things. As someone who used to be addicted to alcohol and nicotine, golf is right up there. My friend's brother's a lefty. His swing speed is 80, 90. He wants an X-Flex shaft. I keep telling him he does not need it. Yeah, he definitely doesn't need it. That's exactly what I've been doing recently. Oh, this drill? Yeah, it's a great drill. Definition of perseverance. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely, Anderson. Well said. So satisfying watching him do the final putt. I know. I was so happy for Rory when he won that tournament. Why did you start golf, John? I don't know, to be honest with you. I grew up watching Tiger on TV and win a bunch of tournaments, and there's funny pictures of me as a kid, like a you know, a toddler with plastic golf clubs out in the front lawn. So my family's convinced that I've loved golf like from the time I was a child. I didn't really play golf until high school, at least not seriously. I wish I had started even sooner. My phone died. Oh, you're good, Tom. You're good. I appreciate you being here. What do you be hitting 60 with? You mean like 60 yards or a 60-degree club? Help me understand your question better. Golf is a drug. You'll definitely pay $100 for the good stuff. Yeah, you definitely will. You will abandon your friends and family for hours at a time. You'll drive to faraway places to seek it out. My dad has the ugliest swing, but somehow it works. Yeah, guys, it's a good reminder. I mean, impact. You guys hear me talk about this on the live stream all the time. It doesn't matter what your swing looks like. You can swing it like Jim Furyk, up like this, and underneath. You can swing it like John Rahm, like inside like this. All that the golf ball cares about is impact. Where's that face pointed? How did you hit it? What bet do you use? Oh, net, sorry. This is the Net Return Pro. Pro Series V2. And Jamie, if you want to learn more about the net that I'm currently using, you can check out the link in the description of the live stream. Or in my bio, there's a link to the Net Return website. If you decide to buy one, you'll get 10% off with my code there. I've had a bunch of people take advantage of that, which is pretty cool. He drives like Bryson. Pretty much full baseball swing. Wow. Bryson has a decent drive. Yeah, I would say Bryson is a decent driver of the ball. Agreed. Hard to argue. Wow, I'm really continuing to hit some really squirrely shots. So for 60 yards, Derek, I'm going to use a 60 degree most of the time. Pretty much every shot inside of like 75 yards around the greens, and in bunkers, I'm using that 60 degree club. Oh, Arctic Blast is Arctic blasting me right now. Hey, Anderson, thanks for being here. Any tips on carrying the shanks? Well, if I figure it out, I'll let you know, because I've shanked like 2 in the last 10 swings. But to be honest, actual answer, Justin, for fixing the shanks is just practice hitting it off the toe. Right? A shank is just an exaggerated heel strike, right? Hitting it over here. So if you intentionally try to move your strike pattern over to the toe, like practice at slow speed hitting 10 shots out of the toe, or at least trying to, and that will definitely start, you'll feel that strike moving away from the heel and away from the hosel. I'm watching Celebrity now with my Nan. Very cool. Thanks for being here, Tom. Derek's at 100 yards, probably 56 degree. If 300s is decent, then what the hell is average and acceptable? Yeah, yeah. No, I was being facetious. Obviously, Bryson is like one of the best drivers of the golf ball in the whole world. All right, let's hit a few with no assistance. See how that feels. The rest of me is mostly warm, but 200 yards. I probably hit either a 5-iron or my hybrid, which is a 25-degree hybrid, from 200 yards. .230 in between 5-wood and 7-wood. 7-wood goes like 220, 225, and 5-wood's like 240. Maybe 250 if I really catch it. Yep, that's really good right there. Good sound. Good feeling strike. JRT said loving the content. Just got my net and launch monitor this week. Amazing, bro. I'm excited to see what you do with it. Really appreciate your kind words and for stopping in to say hi on the stream. I've been having a lot of fun recently making content and trying to really dive into the logistics of turning this from like a, hobby, pet project, little thing I do on the side to like, hey, it seems like there's enough of traction and engagement here that we could really put our foot on the gas and try to make this thing a self-sustaining endeavor. Whew, it is cold and windy. Crunchy, crispy contact. I agree. These ones have been good. I drive about 160 to 200. Well, that's okay. Derek, 250, I'm probably hitting 5-wood. Really good rotation in that swing, I feel like. Yeah, look at that, guys. I mean, that's what I want my swing to look like. Can I just bottle that? Eurovision is officially gone, lads. What does that mean, Liam? That's awesome. How long have you been creating content for? I just started this year, guys. I posted my first video in January of this year. And we're coming up on, what, 7,000 subs now? I mean, it's totally blown my mind how much support you guys have given to me, continuing to show up for these live streams and commenting on all the videos. We've got another full-length video coming out tomorrow, which I'm really excited about. Legend is here. Derek says 270. That's probably driver. Like if it was like a 270-yard par 4, I'd probably like hit a bunt driver. I won't get into details, but a lot of nations are withdrawing because of a certain nation's presence. Mark said hi. Hello, Mark Graff. Does that mean they've just canceled it, Liam? I'm not super familiar with Eurovision and how it works and... Do you just do YouTube or do you branch out over other apps? Good question, DRT. I just recently, maybe 2 months ago, started an Instagram account as well. I do think in hindsight I should have started that at the same time and just been posting my content on both YouTube and Instagram. Because in 2 months, I'm coming up on like 1,000 followers on Instagram. And almost 7,000 here on YouTube. So I do wish in hindsight that I had started them simultaneously, but I think 2 channels, like 2, avenues for getting your stuff out is plenty. I'm not I don't see myself being a supporter of TikTok really ever, and made a conscious choice not to put my stuff on there. John, I was inspired by this channel to purchase a net for practice. That's exciting, Liam. Did you get a net return with my code, or did you get a different one? What club you got here? This is 8-iron Legends. We're doing some ball striking drills. Mostly trying to stay warm. It is freezing out here today. Oh, interesting. That makes sense, Liam. Nice setup. Thanks, Masrad. Appreciate you. Just going to drop this foot back here. Yeah, that feels good. What do you think about the DP season? Didn't Rory win the title again? Freezing here in St. Louis, too. Different one. I understand net return is good and will last long, but just haven't the money. I went with one from Net World Sports. That's totally fine, Liam. I was just curious more than anything. Anderson, how's everyone's day been? Yeah, I'm curious, too. I hope you guys are all having a good Thursday. Woo! My toes are starting to get a little numb. But I'm still happy to be out here. I'm happy to be chatting with you guys. Let's see how that swing looked. Irish guy is top of PGA Q School in Alabama right now. David Carey, very cool. Yeah, you guys have a lot of really good golfers. Jamin's also in Missouri. That was a little flippy. I didn't love that swing. New generation is even better. I believe it. I mean, I feel like the quality of like serious junior golfers now is just so good. With TrackMan and lessons and access to really good golf courses. Back in my day, we just had to figure it out the old-fashioned way. Go hit a bunch of buckets at the range. It's going to be 40 Celsius in my hometown today. Where's that, JRT? Isn't that like 100 Fahrenheit? That's hot. It's like 30 Fahrenheit here. Swing through pain. Yeah, still tee that ball. Ours melted already. Anderson's going to the UK tomorrow. My feet are going to freeze off. Yeah, pack some extra socks if it's going to be cold. I made the mistake once, back when I was working in real estate, I had to go to New Mexico in January. And being a dumbass, I was like, oh, I'm going to like the Southwest, I'm going to the desert, it'll be warm there. It was colder there than it was in Boston. And I showed up without a coat or anything. I had like a blazer on, a blue sport coat. And everybody was like, what is wrong with you? Like, it's below freezing here. And that was how I learned to check the weather when you're going on a trip. Whew. In Australia, mate. Oh, that makes sense. Won't get any young Australians in chat anymore. East coast of Australia. Very cool. Australia is the last remaining continent that I've not been to. My wife and I have been to the other 6, including Antarctica, which was an amazing trip. It was a horrific boat ride to get there, but absolutely stunning once you're there. Folly, Ireland. Very cool, Derek. Have you been to Ireland? I have been. We were just there actually this summer. We were there in September. Spent some time in Dublin and Galway. I think the west coast of Ireland was really the part that spoke to me the most. Hello, superstar. What are you doing? What's your sister doing? Huh? What? What? What are you doing? You just gonna wag your tail over there? She says, it's cold out here, Dad. It is cold out here. West is awesome sauce. Saving the best for last then. Yeah, totally. Mine's mostly melted. There we go. Just about to ask where they were. I love hitting the ball out of the center of the face. It's just super, super fun. Oh, yes. It's getting better, not worse, which is what we want to see, guys. Should we do some more drills? Are there drills you guys want to see? I'll be honest, I probably got another like 10 minutes in me before my hands and toes are frozen off. But we can likely do some inside streaming later. Get back on the putting green, do some work on the putting stroke. Get 2 gloves on. No, can't do that. The head cover drill. Harper wants to see the head cover drill. All right, we'll do that. So guys, this is a great drill if you're struggling with a slice, with an out to in swing path. Drop your head cover down just to the right and behind your golf ball. And this is really going to help if you get that inside takeaway and over the top move. Your path to the ball will be blocked. You won't be able to hit it. And that's a lot of what causes the slice, is swinging across it with an open face. So you can learn how to hit shots, and I always say this. Don't go at full speed. Start at like 50% speed. And just learn how to hit some shots where you don't disturb that head cover. Hello, Miss Lady. Hi, you. Hi, you. You came to be a superstar, see the people? Yeah, say hi to the live stream people. Say hi, chat. Say hi, I'm Miss Lily. I'm here. I'm here. You being silly? Where's your brother? You being silly? What? Where's your brother? Big Cedar, home of the Invitational. I would love to play that golf course. What's the temp? Actual temperature is like in the mid 30s, but real feel is around 30 or 32. It gets dark like an hour after I get home now. Lily about to zoom. Yeah, she looks like she's about to zoom. I hit a push with my driver. Is there any tips on fixing that? Yeah, so Anderson, if you're pushing it, opposite problem. Your path is too far out to the right, this way. but the face is still square. So you're telling me the ball's starting right and staying right. It's not continuing to fade. It's not drawing back. So the face at impact is square to your path. It's just sending the ball too far to the right. So you could do the same drill and put that head cover over here and work on shifting your path less out to the right and more neutral down the target line. Alternatively, if you prefer, you can get the face more shut at impact, and that outward path with a more closed club face will cause the ball to draw. Most clutch shot of your life. A couple ones come to mind. Like my sectional, like the year-end junior PGA tournament that I played in when I was like 17. I hit 4-iron to like 8 feet on the last hole and made eagle to take the lead in the clubhouse. I came in second in the tournament, which was a bummer because I played great. But yeah, eagle on that last hole in the tournament was pretty fun. Or I was 2 down with 3 to play or maybe I was 3 down with 3 to play. Yeah, I was 3 down with 3 to play in the final match of my club championship 2 years ago, and made a sweet birdie on 16. I rolled in like a 20-footer that I had to have. That was super clutch. Made a great par in the next hole, which is a long par 3, and then was still 1 down going into 18. I wasn't able to make a birdie. I probably would have needed to make an eagle, to be honest, to continue the match. But those are the ones that come to mind, Liam. YH, try not to lead the driver as well. That causes a push. Yep. I drove the green on a par 4 in a competition. That's pretty cool. Liam said, fair. Appreciate you. Yeah, so same thing you could do here if you're pushing it, just trying to get that path more neutral. So again, don't disturb the head cover. This is about altering the path into the ball. If you think about, well, we want to block the path that we don't like. So if you're pushing it, that's the one that's from the inside. If you're slicing it or pulling it, it's the opposite. If you're rocking that Sim 2, I'm assuming you got similar swings. Check out Mo Norman for driving help. Yeah, Mo Norman's awesome. Just like that, guys. Oh. Thank you guys for being so engaged and asking great questions on today's stream. Definitely makes it easier when it doesn't feel like I'm just shouting into the void. Isn't the Sim 2 a LS driver? It probably is. I mean, most of those generation of drivers were very low spin. My town is 1,236 years older than the Constitution of the United States. Wow. That is one of my favorite parts about going to Europe is there's just stuff that's way older than what we have here in the States. You know, you walk into a church and they're like, this was built in 1475. And you're like, we don't have any buildings that are that old. Tommy Fleetwood finish for the Tommy Fleetwood lookalike. It's the way to do it, guys. You want to hit crispy iron shots? Get that follow through a little sawed off. Don't need any more than that. GoFundMe to get our dude some hand warmers. That's really funny. Good swing. Thanks, David. I appreciate you saying that. Do you believe in Jesus? I definitely believe that he was a real person. A historical figure, if you will. But I grew up in Catholic school, so I know all about the books. I just have a more, I would say I have a less formal approach to whatever else, you know, the universe or how we ended up here, that mostly relies on a lot of the same core tenets that religion teaches, right? You know, be kind to people, take care of others who have less than you. But unfortunately, those aren't the things that modern day religion is being used for. So I have pushed back on it pretty aggressively. Heat lamp might be an appropriate investment given your northeastern location. I know, I got to get a heater or some sort of jet engine or something. Deep question, isn't it? How did we get here? Yeah, it is. I mean, you could talk about that for hours and hours and hours and not have an answer. Connor, do you collect sports cards or any cards? I don't. I did find a box of old sporting cards in my attic of the house I bought, but I have no idea if there's any valuable ones. It's just a shoebox full of old cards. My driver's set to 11 because I don't swing that fast. That's fine. It's totally fine to optimize your equipment for your current swing. It'd be kind of silly if you didn't. You are the best YouTuber. Well, I don't know about the best, but I am really proud of the community that we're working on building together, and continue to build. I mean, like I always say, guys, I'm going to keep showing up for you guys. You guys keep showing up for me. You guys keep subscribing, keep liking the videos. And we're going to see how far we can take this thing. Because the other option is to go back and get a desk job again. And then you guys would see me like, you know, nights and weekends. Which wouldn't be very fun. I love making content. I love, you know, building this community and helping people through my experiences and things that I've learned. Shoebox full of old cards. Interesting. Blame my parents for how I got here. Who's your favorite golfer? Tiger Woods all time. Ludwig Oberg for current player. I love that you found a wife to travel the world and eventually travel that 7th continent. Do you have a handicap? Does your wife? My wife does not play golf. Sir, what are you trying to find under there? What are you looking for? Now there's just dust everywhere. There's nothing under there, bro. My handicap right now is 1.3. But that's gone up from, you know, 0 or plus the last year or two, which is fine. I've had lots of good things, good reasons to be away from the golf course. But no, my wife does not play golf. She came to Topgolf one time, but it's just not her thing, which is okay. We have our own, you know, individual and unique experiences. But I've talked about this a little bit before. I'm glad you mentioned my wife, and I'd love to get her to do some content maybe someday with me, but she's really the reason I got sober in the first place. I was still drinking when we went on our first couple dates, and I was like, man, I truly had one of those, like the girl walks in the bar and you're like, whoa, like who is that? Like, you know, and we met on Hinge, so I knew who I was looking for, but I was like, damn. And I was still drinking at that point. Our first couple dates I was still drinking, and I just knew. I was like, I am such a mess. There is no shot that this girl will be into me if I can't get my shit together. And I said, I got to see if I can just get 30 days without alcohol under my belt. And about 2 weeks into that, I said, I'm not going back. If my body and my brain can feel this good after just 2 weeks, like how good do I feel in another month? And I feel amazing 5 years on. And it's one of the best decisions, if not the best decision that I ever made, was to quit drinking. Because sometimes you meet special people and you're like, I just gotta at least, you know, present the best version of myself to see where this goes. And she's been amazingly supportive, both, you know, in my recovery and talking about alcohol, but also, you know, in making content and supporting my goal to use this platform to help people. So I give her a ton of credit for sticking by me. And favorite pro is Rory. Little buddy digging your setup, yeah. Fun memorabilia are cards and sticker books. Very cool. You should show your wife what she looks like. She knows what she looks like. William says, God loves you. Thanks, William. Self-improvement is the best addiction. Absolutely, Jamin. It's crazy how, I had like an extra hour earlier and I was like, I could, look on my phone or something. And instead I just went and did push-ups and like did a second workout. So I'd done 2 workouts today. My new thing, Jamin, I hate waking up early, but I also hate not using the time that's available when things aren't scheduled and when people aren't looking for you. So I've started waking up early around 6 so that I can use that time from like 6 to 7:30 before the day really starts. I can do my workouts, I can do my stretching, just kind of have a nice, easy start to the day, get some easy wins under my belt. So that's what I've been working on recently. It is not always easy. I hate waking up early, especially this time of year. You're very good. Keep going. Thanks, guys. That's really powerful. Glad you came through for yourself. I know exactly how tough it can be. I appreciate you saying that, Coldest. Oscar said hi. Hey, guys. Welcome to the stream. If you guys are new, hit that subscribe button for me. Drop a like on the stream. Guys, we don't need these holes in the yard. We simply don't. Miss Lily. Oh, you're going to get breakfast. In our house, guys, every meal for the dogs is breakfast. I remember when we first got Loki, the first one, he said, do you want breakfast? He's like, yeah. Do you want lunch? And he was like, lunch is okay. Do you want dinner? I'm not sure. But breakfast, they go nuts for breakfast. So every meal, we say, do you want breakfast? And they're like, we know what that means. We're about to eat. We're about to eat. So yeah, that's my story, guys. Really appreciate all the support. Coming up on 5 years sober. I truly don't think I would be alive today if I hadn't stopped. I mean, I was drinking like probably 10 drinks a day, like between 70 and 80 drinks a week. So that is, that's unhealthy. If anyone has told you, I don't know what the current guidelines are for how much you should drink. I think it's like 2 drinks a week. I know that 70 is more than the current guidelines. So, yeah, I always tell people I'm a retired professional. I went pro early, retired early, and I'm thrilled about that. Can I tell you something that makes me so mad? When you absolutely bomb your driver, it looks like it hits middle fairway, and you can't find your ball anywhere. That is very frustrating. Did you see Charlie Smith? I'm not familiar with Charlie Smith. Tell me more, Liam. It's hard to survive. My father passed recently due to it. It's a real problem. Please take care of yourselves. Yeah, Coldest, it's totally true. And I've had some comments that are really, I was going to say sobering, which is a bad pun for the topic we're talking about, but that are really enlightening or offer perspective, right? And similar to the story you just shared, people come and they say, it's amazing that you're sober and you should keep talking about this, but don't forget that there are people who don't survive this disease. It is a fatal disease for many, many, many people. So it's easy to talk about the success stories and to look at me and say, like, oh, you had a problem and now you don't, and that's great. But there's lots of people that don't survive substance abuse, whether that's alcohol or other things. And it's really sobering to say, like, yeah, that could have been me. I could have been another statistic. And, by whatever divine intervention, I met my wife and I was able to start, putting one day at a time together. One day, then a second day, then a third day. That's how you do any hard thing. And this experience, whether it's with alcohol or having lost a bunch of weight and changing my body, quitting nicotine or fixing my back that used to be really bad. I've done a lot of these big things to change my identity and who I am. And so much of why I want to continue making content and share that story with you guys is it makes a difference. When you can see people say, oh, that guy's, that's motivating to me. I get inspired by hearing those stories. The same way that I hope to inspire you guys. Because I see other people do it and I'm like, man, that makes me want to get up off the couch and like go for a run or do something. I mean, I don't run with my torn ACL anymore, but that is, it's so validating and so rewarding for me to hear people say, your story made a difference for me. I was able to change my own life because of something you said. And knowing that change wouldn't have happened if I wasn't here talking about my experience and making content and using this platform. So that's where I'm excited about taking things. Coldest, thank you for sharing your story. I agree. Thoughts on the administration? Which administration? New Orleans Saints kicker from Colorado, down greatest of all time in the NFL, and washed up in the GAA. No, I don't know about this. I'll have to read about Charlie Smith. It's unfortunate. I'm sorry for your loss. That's nice of you to say, Anderson. Neville Lacken said AA. AA is an amazing tool for lots of people, and it definitely works. I just don't have experience with it, guys. I never went to organized meetings or participated in that sort of recovery situation. I never went to rehab. I just quit cold turkey and never went back, which I did learn later, and I always try to remind people, if you drink a lot, or if you drink at all, and you're interested in stopping, it's worth a phone call to your doctor to say, hey, are there things I need to be worried about? Because for me, I should have been worried. I wasn't. I didn't know any better. I didn't have the information. But you can have adverse side effects and health impacts from abruptly stopping drinking if your body's used to having it, especially seizures is what I was warned about later. So there's no shame in it, guys. Just call your doctor and say, hey, I want to stop drinking, or I want to drink less. Can you help me? They will say yes because they're a doctor. They signed up professionally to help people. Keywords are used to be. Growth is a gift. Absolutely, guys. You got to change your identity. I love it. Thank you, guys. Thank you, John. And definitely subscribe. Life is beautiful. Don't take it for granted. Absolutely, Coldest. I'm glad you found us because this is a lot of what we do. My bio says using golf to combat the stigma around sobriety and mental health. And that is really every day what we're trying to do here is share these stories, engage with people, try to offer some support and value. That was such a good strike. Wow, it got dark so quick. Honestly, John, I'm sure a local group would love to have you. The chat already saying you a motivator. Just saying. William said keep going. Thanks, William. Carlos is here. What's up, Carlos? I agree with you, Jamin. I was thinking about that earlier today. I think I'm going to start reaching out to some, I don't know if it's going to be like schools or recovery centers or halfway houses or whatever the case is. But I am going to start reaching out to some of those groups and saying, hey, here's my story. I'd love to come talk to your group if you'll have me and just see what happens. I don't know what's going to come of it, but I know from you guys that the story at least resonates. There's enough people that are like, hey, that's really cool. I would love to hear more or ask questions and, benefit from John's experience. So I am pretty excited to start exploring that idea. Even if it doesn't turn into, it might not be an income stream, but it certainly would be beneficial, I think, for me to continue learning to articulate and add value to people. And I think other people would benefit from hearing it as well. So I love how truly down to earth you are, interacting with your chat and all. Keep doing what you do. Thanks, Joey. Appreciate that. When I can't afford therapy, AA is a great place to be, believe it or not. I believe that. I totally believe that. There's something about, if somebody never has gone through recovery, they can be very supportive and empathetic and be in your corner, but it's hard to articulate to someone what it's like if they haven't gone through it. So having shared experience and sharing with a group of people that will understand and know what you're talking about. Quick plug, guys. SOBA Golf, SOBA, is a group that my friend Corey runs on Instagram. They're doing great work. He started to run some retreats. There's a huge Discord group that's an amazing, supportive community. So if you're looking for community that isn't maybe like your local AA chapter or meeting, which is, again, a great resource I just don't have experience with, go into Instagram and check out Soba Golf, or send me a DM. I can point you in the right direction on Instagram. And they host meetings. There's one tonight at 8 o'clock that I'm going to go to. And it's similar to that structure where people just jump on a Zoom call. Somebody will talk for 15 or 20 minutes, and they kind of lead the group. And then everybody will chime in after that and just say kind of how they're doing or what's on their mind, how their sobriety journey is going. There's people in there that have been sober for 30 years, and there's people that are on like day 7. So I have really enjoyed being part of that community and would definitely plug them quickly. Hey, SB's here. SB just subbed. Amazing, guys. Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven, but only the one who does the will of the Father is in heaven. Are you religious? I get if you don't want to answer. I don't mind answering the question. I don't describe myself as religious in the traditional sense. Like, I don't go to church. I don't, read any of the books. But I do definitely believe that there's something that connects all of us and that we aren't here by accident. and that we should spend most of our time trying to help other people, especially the disenfranchised and people who need help. All of those things, I think, are amazing key tenets of humanity that are also, largely tied to religion. Just be a good person, guys. Just take care of people, be kind. But I grew up in the Catholic Church and went to Catholic high school. So I certainly have lots of experience with religion, I would say. It's just not a thing that I practice in that way. I think my experience is more, I think about it more of like, nature and the universe and all these living things that are connected just like we are. And there's something truly beautiful about that. But my day-to-day does not involve like, sitting down and reading the Bible or going to church. Kiffin to LSU. Yeah, I mean, it's Lane Kiffin, right? What did you expect? He's been this guy like his whole career. It is crazy to me that I think the biggest problem, the analysis I've heard is like, why does the calendar work this way? How do you have guys trying to transfer and coaches moving around like before the playoffs? It just seems totally crazy to me that that's how the system works. I know it's a little late. Kiffin's the Ole Miss bloke. Yes, yeah, absolutely, Liam. Be kind, rewind. I find it hard to swing in long sleeves like you, really bothersome for this cold weather. I hear you, Coldest. I hate it. I've got like 2 layers on and like 3 or 4 shirts on. I've got like a base layer, a short sleeve, a long sleeve, and then this hoodie. So I feel like the Michelin Man trying to move around, but I'm also so convinced that, incremental work, whether it's, for 5 minutes or for 75 minutes, is better than nothing. DMAX says, really think about taking a deeper dive into religion. I will say, this came up on last night's stream, and I believe fervently that religion does have a tangible impact on communities and cultures. If you look at, like I use the example of the genocide in Gaza and how those people and their Islamic faith, I'm continually baffled is the wrong word, but, in awe of the strength of their faith in light of just the most horrific conditions imaginable. And you hear these people saying, like, it would have been less cruel to just kill us. But we believe that Allah has a plan. That to me is the biggest like indicator of, wow, I mean, people can really tolerate an immense amount of suffering when they are rooted in strong faith, whatever that faith is. So it certainly does have a real impact. Looking for a budget for a setup kind of like yours? How much are we talking about? So Joey, there's a video on my channel if you want to learn about the whole thing. This whole thing was like $1,200. And if you want to get the net return, there's a code in my bio. You can save 10%, which is awesome. The Irish are going to take over the kicking positions in American football. I believe that. It's horrifying what's going on out there, and the facts it's been going on for this long is just wow. What are you talking about specifically, Coldest? They make those? I'm jelly. Golf advent calendar, that's pretty cool. GAA should be worried about losing the good talent. I mean, I'm surprised there aren't, like, I say this about NFL coaches too. There's 32 NFL head coaching jobs, right? And every year, between like 3 and 6 of them are available because people are getting fired. Why isn't there like a university or a school that's like, hey, we're just going to teach you how to be a coach because you might get a job for like $10 million a year. The same way that like kickers, like why wouldn't you practice to be a kicker if you know how to kick a ball from anywhere in the world? Try to be a kicker in the NFL. There's like clearly not enough of them who are good. Joey said, say less, thanks. Got you, bro. Yeah, make sure you use that code on net return if you're interested, because it helps you out, helps me out, which we love. Oh, that might be the last swing of the day, guys. It is really dark out here now. I don't even know exactly what time it is. Oh yeah, coming up on 5 o'clock. We're way past They don't have that in the USA? No, there definitely is not. Proper one for American golf. Oh, cool. Yeah, no, wouldn't you think there would be like a university that's like, hey, we're going to teach you how to be a head football coach? I guess people might push back and say like the college ranks are like that, but it's not the same thing as what I'm describing. That's like on the job training. And you're just hoping that you get good at it and, you know, have good teams so that you can get an NFL job, but oh man, it is freezing out here, guys. I'm gonna go try to get warm. Maybe we'll do some more streaming from inside, but I cannot thank you guys enough for continuing to support me, supporting the channel, all the new subscribers, all the OGs who are in here. That is legitimately my mother's job in university, teaching people about coaching and management. Maybe that exists, right? But I'm thinking like more of a direct, like, you know, teaching football coaching specifically. But yeah, thank you guys so much for all the support. We'll be back tomorrow with another live stream. Check out the channel for more cool videos. And we will see you all next time.